Alright, now that I have this looking like a beautiful piece of stamped aluminum, it's time to ruin it with some art. Alright, so I want it to match this fender here. So the first thing I want to do is mask off a piece of metally looking thing that I'm going to paint, right? So we're going to start at the front here. I've noticed typically Harleys will have like a thing, a chrome piece of trim or something along the front here. So I think we're going to try and play with that idea. Let's use this because it'll curve real easily. Alright, so if it's going to be sitting a little something like this, probably have it come up like this and then curl around. So let's make that a thing. We'll do it a little at an angle like this. Yeah. And then we want it to be straight. With the opposite side, and I think that's gonna be it right there. All right, now I want it to curve up into the main piece, so we'll need an X-Acto because we'll trim this out. This blade has had its days. This one has had no days. Alright, now that we got our straight even line, now let's make our curve. Alright, so let's see. I want it to go probably somewhere out here. We'll make it nice and wide to start, and then kind of taper as we go up and over towards the bottom to where we'll have our narrow part with the, I don't know, the spike looking thing. And then we'll flare it out. And now we'll try and match that over here. And now we'll get the tip in here. Now we're going to want to curve down here. So let's trim this out. I won't be able to put a big one. I'll just go like this. So let's get this cut. One last thing I want to do, I want to figure out where the top is. When you're doing the paint that I'm doing, you want to make sure you got your light right. So from about here to here, we should be centered. Here is down slope, here is down slope. So I use an HPC, an Iwata HPC Plus. This is my airbrush of choice. I got it at Hobby Lobby, 50% off. Using their little weekly coupon thing. So if you're looking for an airbrush, get a good deal. So the next thing I do is I got to get the paint out of the rattle can. So that's why you'll remember when I did the fiberglass, I saved these upper halves of the bottles. I used the lower halves as mixing cups, right? And now the upper halves, I'm gonna use as funnels. There we go. I got a nice little funnel hole there. And now I feel like there's one more thing I want to do. I want to get my templates. So this will allow me to shade the little dimple kind of around the rivet, right? And now I need a hole to do the rivet itself. So I'm going to use this here. This is styrene, polystyrene. And I'll do the trick. I'm gonna drill a little hole in it. And that, my friends, is gonna be my rivet. Alright, so now I one hand this guy like that to hold it so that hole is in my cup. And then I just spray it in there. About half right now, let's go a little more. Oh yeah, we're darn near full there now. There we go. Yes, all right. Now, as I said, you shade the bottom edge. So the way this is curved, this is the bottom, but here it becomes the top. So, dang, all right, we'll work with it. I think we got a thing there. All right. Now, bottom edge. Since it actually has an edge, I still need to shade it though, so it matches the rest of the paint. Alright, there we go. Pretty good. Alright, now for my next trick, we're going to shade a little dimple around the rivet. So if you look, see how it's kind of shaded around there? That's what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to try and place the rivets where approximately where a rivet should go. And then just do a little dusty. There we go. Now that I've got the outlines of the rivets in there, now it's time to do my shading of the actual rivet heads. Got plenty left. So now, on the low side, downhill, I want to shade on the low side. This side, low side. Alright, now that you know that, let's see what we can do. Let's start here, because this thing is going to make it, the tire is going to make it hardest here. So now, low side. Low side, yeah. Yeah. All right, Shazam! Now that's all the black. Now you gotta clean this out and switch over to white. This is how I clean. Okay. Acetone kills this paint real quick. Now what I have here is Oxford White, which is a Ford color. Slightly off-white, but it's the same brand. Otherwise, I would have gotten a different one, but since it's the same brand of stuff, it was about the only white I could find when I ordered it. So that's what I got. So we're gonna make another funnel, same thing. Same thing as last time. Am I still recording? Holy smokes. We're not gonna need a whole lot of white. We're gonna need less white than we needed black. So that's probably good. Now, the white, I just want to do the highlights of the top edges. So this edge, and I'm going to spray kind of into it so I can get a narrower edge on it. And then it rolls up out of there. Get that white clean edge. And now we've got another one here and here. Now we want to do our rivet heads, but now we're doing the top, the high side. Don't need a lot. And there's all my white. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, that's crazy, that doesn't look too good. And you're partially right. Because there's a lot of dust on there, there's the matte, there's the gloss. And that doesn't blend together well, does it? Now you're going to notice, as I spray the clear, some of my shade is going to kind of blend away, and it's going to look much better afterward. So I'm doing the thing with the glove again, so I can clear the inside as well. Let that sit for a minute. Alright, and this is the inside, so 2 coats should be fine. So let's get the second coat. Alright, so it's sat a few minutes. Let's get another coat on here. Now clear is tricky. You're looking at texture when you're spraying it. Alright, now let's get this out of here so it doesn't orange peel. Woo, in the cold. Get it back under the heat. Oh, so it can kind of lay out a little bit better before it dries up completely. Alright, well, it's dried for a few minutes. I can actually touch it. It's still sticky, but I can do this without doing anything. And you can see it's got a little bit of texture to it. A little bit of orangey peel stuff. And as it dries, it's going to shrink and probably do that a little bit more. So while I'm still within the recoat window, which is 10 minutes, I want to do one more coat just to play it safe, because this stuff doesn't like being recoated outside of the window or ever after that point. So we're going to do one more and call it a day. Oh yeah, it's still fairly warm in here. Get this under the heat so it can warm. And then that will for sure be it for today. And at that for a few days. So now what I'm gonna do is let this dry up real good. Probably over the next week, maybe next weekend. I'll be able to come in and backmask it and do all my red stuff, all my detail, airbrushing, and final coat. And then I'll be ready to do the wiring and get it on the bike. So that's it for today. buff 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 it up 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 buff 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 it buff 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 it buff 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 it buff 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 buff